Welcome to Eureka High School. We'd like to start today's ceremony by doing a Pledge of Allegiance. And those individuals who are joining the military, if they can come up and lead us in that, please.
Gentlemen, please remove your mortarboard, face the flag, and join me in a salute to our flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. You can be seated.
At this point, I'd like to call up Katie Underwood to lead us in the welcome.
It is with excitement that I welcome everyone to the class of 2019's graduation ceremony, the last of the last, our rite of passage. Throughout the past school year, we have embarked on the exciting and exhausting journey that is senior year, and the fact that today marks the end of this time in our lives is bittersweet. As a class, we have already experienced the last football game, the last lunch period, the last day of school. Now it's time to begin our graduation, the last day we will all sit together at Eureka High School. With that, I would like to formally welcome everyone in attendance today. I welcome our parents who packed our backpacks on that very first day of school 12 years ago. I welcome our family members who came to all of our sporting events and fundraisers to cheer us on. I welcome the teachers and administrators who supported us and fostered our education. Lastly, I would like to welcome the class of 2019. I'm proud to be a member of this class full of caring and compassionate students who are going to change the world someday. With that being said, I would like to hand it over to Emma Argo for the dedication.
On behalf of the class of 2019, I would like to dedicate this ceremony to our parents for being our biggest supporters. Sometimes teenagers take for granted just how much our parents do for us. I would like to take this time to say thank you for all of your help that may have been overlooked. Thank you for helping us with our homework as much as you could and occasionally bringing it to the school because we forgot it at home. Thank you for driving us to school, to practice, to friends' houses, and everywhere else we needed to be. And when we finally became old enough to drive ourselves, thank you for trusting us to go alone. We know those football games were cold and those track meets were long, but you were always there to cheer us on. Thank you for always loving us, even when our attitudes were not exactly pleasant. Parents, you give great advice, and I'm sorry for all the times we chose not to take it. Thank you for being patient with us when we made mistakes. Thank you for taking so many pictures despite our protests. I'm willing to bet that a few of us here have already today refused to cooperate with pictures. But deep down, we know you're right when you tell us someday we will be glad to have them. I could go on for hours listing the things our parents have done for us, but I'm guessing no one wants to sit in these bleachers for that long. Ultimately, we would not be here today without your constant support and guidance. Parents, today is a big day for you too. This ceremony is equally about you as it is about us. On behalf of the class of 2019, I would like to say congratulations and thank you. I would like to call up Macy Littell and Asher Wiegand for the memory walk. Much of the class of 2019 has been going to school together for almost 13 years now. Throughout that time, they shared many experiences, good, bad, and hilarious. Let's start in grade school. Though Congerville had a very small class, they made countless memories. And in kindergarten, Kurt Heinrichsen fell asleep on the bus and forgot to get off in Congerville. He didn't realize his mistake until the bus driver woke him up while parked in the bus garage in Eureka. They remember Blaine Terry's famous birthday snack, bacon wrapped chicken, which he brought in every year. And they giggled together as they remember how they all raced to be one of the lucky kids that got to sit at Colton Sober's special allergen-free table at lunch. Congerville also had the honor of performing the Maypole dance every spring. Only 5 miles away, another tiny grade school was bonding as well. At Goodfield, the girls outnumbered the boys 17-4. The Goodfield kids took PE and recess very seriously. Capture the flag was always intense. After outdoor PE and recess on the jungle gym, the school was always covered in tire chips by the end of the day. The Goodfield grade school alums remember having a mouse in their 4th grade classroom, and that once, after Macy Littell had been absent for school for a while, the secretary announced over the intercom, "Macy's dad is here to pick up her things." But the students misheard her, thinking she said, "Macy's dead. He's here to pick up her things." It gave the 4th graders quite the scare. Thankfully, Macy returned alive and well to school the next week.
At Davenport, there's one story that remains legendary among the class of 2019. A young Caden Sword stuck his head in the fence and got stuck. He remained there until the fire department helped set him free. Also, Davenport can also claim the beginning of Emma Argo's running career. In the 3rd and 4th grade district track meet, she ran the 800. During the race, she lost her shoe before the finish line and still won by a landslide. Just first of many blue ribbons to come. At Eureka Middle School, all the grade schools were mixed together for the first time. It was an awkward, uncomfortable time that many of us prefer to forget. However, we cherish the time that the power went out for several hours due to construction error. We got to spend the rest of the day playing kickball and board games. Some of us may also remember Mr. Maurer, the new PE teacher. Kelsey Cooper-Schmidt, in particular, thought he was super cute. One day, she was helping Morgan Keyser pull a computer cart down the hallway. She saw Mr. Maurer in the office. When she suddenly stopped to wave at him, Morgan accidentally rammed the cart into Kelsey's heel. She needed stitches and still carries the Maurer mark with her today.
Once we reached high school, we experienced more freedom. We could finally drive, participate in school clubs, and chew gum without the fear of lunch detention. We formed tight bonds from early mornings in marching band and late nights in track. We learned to work together to dominate class games, a memory which is immortalized in Braden Beck's cheer.
Senior!
We also learned the importance of following elevator capacity signs at our Poetry Out Loud field trip. 17 students packed into a small elevator and jumped as it went down. It broke, leaving them trapped for over an hour, causing over $1,000 worth of damages to the building, and thoroughly enraging our chaperones. So sorry, Mrs. Lowe. We've supported each other through everything, from the rigor of American experience to the losses of family members. Although not all of our memories were good, it's an honor to share these memories with such an amazing, compassionate, and talented group of peers. May your experiences to come be even more memorable. Now let's welcome the senior ensemble.
Name. Those were someone else's dreams, the pitfalls of the man I became. For years and years, I chased their cheers, the crazy speed of always beating more. And I stop and see you here, I remember who all this was for. Blinded by the lights, and from now on, let's wait until tomorrow starts tonight. It starts tonight, and let this promise in me start like an anthem in my heart. From now on, from now let's wait until tomorrow starts tonight. It starts tonight, and let this promise in me start like an anthem in my heart. From now on, from now on, from now on, and we will come back home. Home again, and we will come back home, and we will come back home, home again, and we will come back home, and we will come back home, home again. From now on, from now on, home again.
Great job, everyone. As I was preparing for graduation, I thought, well, wow, this is the first one that I'm actually in charge of, and what information could I share with our student body? And so I reflected back on the year, and I came up with a few words that I felt shared the impact you've had on me this year. And so over the course of this year, I have repeatedly been asked two questions from everyone I run into. And those questions are, how is your first year going? And how is this school different from the other schools where you have worked? So in response to how is your first year going, my usual simile is that it feels like I'm drinking from a fire hose, that it is just a wealth of information, and I'm usually feeling overwhelmed. I have to make decisions like, is graduation going to be inside or outside? And at the moment, with the rain holding off, I hope I made the right choice on that one. I've had the pleasure this year of getting to know 470 new students and 40 staff members. And they've taught me and reminded me of the following, and I hope this is information that you take with you wherever you go after Eureka High School. You've taught or reminded me to work hard. On a daily basis, I witness students who are willing to put forth an extra effort towards academics, towards athletics, towards the clubs and organizations that you participate in. You've reminded me to greet one another with respect, to take the time to help someone else. Taking 2 to 3 seconds out of your day to hold the door for someone is hardly any time lost on your end, but might make a huge difference on their end. And I see that happen regularly. You've reminded me how to serve the community. Examples include Fight for Life Week, where you raised over $66,000 for St. Jude Children's Hospital. Another example is in the mentoring that you've done for our future Hornets at Davenport and EMS. You've also volunteered to take on beautification projects in our cafeteria and bathrooms, so you've made a difference in the school and in the community. So when I think about it, this has been a wonderful year, but it's been wonderful because of the people who enter EHS every day. My response to how is EHS different to other schools where I have worked connects to the qualities that I mentioned earlier in my speech. Parents and guardians have put forth tremendous effort to help their students succeed. You have gotten up early to take your child to an early practice. You have stayed up late to make sure that they got home safely from a late basketball game. You have taught your child how to have a good work ethic and to value learning. You have modeled how to serve others. Thank you for all of your efforts over the last 18 years. Those efforts are coming to fruition as your child receives his or her diploma today. EHS is also different because of the staff. The staff at EHS care about every child. I have entered school on a Sunday afternoon and found teachers preparing for the week. I have exited at 5 p.m. on a school night and found staff who have stayed after to help a student get caught up. Our staff is knowledgeable in their content area while also modeling servant leadership on a daily basis. Again, for our graduates, I hope that's something that you take with you. Finally, how is EHS different from other schools, you ask? It is the students who attend here. The group who sits before you comes in most mornings with smiles on their faces and a greeting on their lips. I am confident that we have the cleanest cafeteria in Central Illinois because they generally pick up after themselves. I'm not sure that's to be said at home, but at least they do it at school. They have done their work to improve the school, and they have done work to improve the community. In closing, EHS is like no other place. I believe that many of our students are already aware of this. As they venture into new locales, I hope that you remember that you can make a difference in other people's lives by continuing to be the great people that you are. I would now like to welcome Navy Chief, retired Eric Pigman, to present the Citizenship Awards.
Now I know what these rubber bands are for. At the end of each school year, the American Legion awards 2 students the School Award Medal Qualities that have been developed by these two individuals are courage, determination to do right without public praise, honor, high standard of conduct, leadership, the ability to work in harmony and in unison with other leaders, patriotism, an ideal of loyal Americanism, religious tolerance, righteous freedom, scholarship, quality of work, and attainment in school studies, and service, kindliness, unselfishness, fellowship, and protection of the weak. The two students that have been selected by members of the graduating class and the faculty have selected Catherine Underwood and Asher Wiegand. Would you two please come forward? These 6 qualities described are the stones of the foundation upon which you construct your lives. There is a law much older than any found on the books in our land, the Golden Rule. Use this as a basis for other rules of conduct you may see fit to set up. This award is the highest honor awarded to American youth by the American Legion. It is a medal to proclaim to the world that you are the type of young woman and young man that we who have served with those who gave their lives in battle believe worthy of such honor. It is our desire that wherever you go, whatever you do, you will always be guided by the highest ideals. Mr. Bardwell will present this year's valedictorians.
I would like to take this time to honor this year's valedictorians. This year we have 13 valedictorians with a perfect 4.0. When I call your name, please come forward to receive your medallion from the staff member that you selected for this presentation. Emma Argo, daughter of Susan and Andrew Argo. She will be honored by one of her high school coaches, Coach Olivia Morris. Kate Blunier. Kate Blunier, daughter of Olivia and Kurt Blunier. She will be honored by one of her high school teachers, Miss Kim Willie. McKenna Courtney, daughter of Kaya and Douglas Courtney. She will be honored by one of her high school teachers, Mrs. Michelle Monk. Malia Cottrell, daughter of Darla and Brent Cottrell. She will be honored by one of her high school teachers, Mr. Matt O'Hanlon. Morgan Green, daughter of Gina and Jason Green. She will be honored by one of her mentors, Coach Craig Gertis. Alex Heinold, son of Elizabeth and Thad Heinold. He will be honored by one of his high school teachers, Mr. Thomas Hantak. Ambria Herman, daughter of Ketra and Ross Herman. She will be honored by one of her high school teachers, Mr. Dave Tapp. Joshua Urban, son of Kathleen and James Urban. He will be honored by one of his high school teachers, his mother, Mrs. Kathleen Urban. Macy Littell, daughter of Deanna and Gary Littell. She will be honored by one of her middle school teachers, Mr. Dustin Roth. Natalie Meese, daughter of Lucille and Trent Meese. She will be honored by one of her high school teachers, Coach Jerry Prina. Katie Morin, daughter of Sue and Jeff Morin. She will be honored by one of her high school teachers, Mr. Matt O'Hanlon. Catherine Underwood, daughter of Nicole and Andrew Underwood. She will be honored by one of her student council sponsors, Mrs. Janelle Brace. Darcy Wetstein, daughter of Heidi and Bill Wetstein. She will be honored by one of her mentors, Mrs. Maggie Sane. Please give this year's valedictorians a round of applause. And now I'd like to introduce Emma Argo, who will be sharing the senior quotes.
Go into the world and do well, but more importantly, go into the world and do good. I chose this quote because as we pursue our goals, it is important that we strive to be good people, taking care of others and taking care of the places we love. I would like to dedicate this quote to our teachers for not only giving us the tools to be successful, but also teaching us the value of kindness.
This is the day which the Lord hath made. We will rejoice and be glad in it. As we move on to the next stage of our lives, we should always remember to be grateful for what we have been given, and remember that a positive attitude goes a long way. I am so thankful for my family, friends, classmates, and teachers, but mostly I'm thankful for God. Without Him, I would have nothing to be thankful for.
How lucky am I to have something that makes saying goodbye so hard. I would like to dedicate this quote to my mentors, Rebecca Von Rathney and Kaylee Bullock, for their endless support and for inspiring me to follow my dreams wholeheartedly. I will never be able to fully express my gratitude to you for the tremendous impact you both have made on my life. And to my fellow classmates, I'd like to say thank you. Through the good and the bad, we've always been there for each other. And as we prepare to move on to the next chapter of our lives, I'd just like to say there's no other group of people I would have rather grown up with. Trust in the Lord with all thine heart, and lean not unto thine own understanding. In all thy ways acknowledge him, and he shall direct thy paths. This verse is important to me because it reminds me that even though we are all about to take different paths, God knows what tomorrow holds and will direct each one who trusts in him. I would like to dedicate this verse to my parents who taught me of God from day one and were a constant support as I grew through the years. I love you both.
Success in life has nothing to do with what you gain in life or accomplish for yourself. It's what you do for others. Danny Thomas, founder of St. Jude Children's Research Hospital. I chose this quote because of the impact that Fight for Life has had on me throughout my high school career. District 140 St. Jude fundraiser has taught me how to be selfless and giving. It has truly been the most life-changing event that I have been a part of. Therefore, I would like to dedicate this quote to District 140 and all of those involved in Fight for Life for teaching us and showing us valuable lessons that we can use for the rest of our lives.
When it comes to life, the critical thing is whether we take things for granted or take them with gratitude. I chose this quote because I believe the key to happiness is gratitude. If we are thankful for the many blessings in our lives, our perspective will be a positive one, and our actions will reflect that positivity. I want to dedicate this quote to my parents. Their love, support, and patience has made me who I am. Although I sometimes take it for granted, I want to take this opportunity to express my gratitude for all that they do. And to the teachers, students, and everyone who made our high school experience as great as it was, thank you.
If ever there is a tomorrow when we are not together, there is something you must always remember. You are braver than you believe, stronger than you seem, and smarter than you think. But the most important thing is that even if we're apart, I'll always be with you. I would like to dedicate this quote to my family and those who have become my family over the years. They encourage me to always be myself and to always be strong. I know that even if we are not together, they will always love me and be in my heart.
Isaac Asimov once said, quote, "It has been my philosophy of life that difficulties vanish when faced boldly," unquote. I think we've all had times where obstacles simply seem insurmountable. It's been my experience, though, that the best way to solve a problem is to face it head on. I'd like to dedicate this quote to my friends here in this class of 2019. May we all continue to face life's challenges boldly.
Where there is love, nothing is too much trouble, and there is always time. Abdul Baha. I dedicate this to my parents, to my brother, and to Blaine. To my friends graduating with me today, may we always remember to find time for those who we love. May we find hope in love. And let us nurture it in prosperity and call upon it in adversity.
Be a pineapple, stand tall, wear a crown, and always be sweet on the inside. I chose this quote because it embodies everything my mom has taught me. From a young age, my mom has always told me to be confident in myself and be content with how God made me. What I think is what is most important is the last part of the quote, be sweet on the inside. My mom raised me to be compassionate and kind to everyone I meet, and for this, I will forever be grateful for. Thank you, Mom.
The most useful asset of a person is not a head full of knowledge, but a heart full of love, with open ears to listen and hands willing to help. I chose this quote because during my high school years, I realized how important it is to love others,
listen first, and help those in need. Acing tests means nothing in the real world, but being a loving and caring individual means everything. I feel as if our graduating class exemplifies these characteristics, which is why I would like to dedicate this quote to the class of 2019. As we go our separate ways, I challenge you all to continue impacting others' lives selflessly. Thank you all for being the best classmates I could have asked for. Margaret Mead once said, "Never doubt that a small group of thoughtful, committed citizens can change the world. Indeed, it is the only thing that ever has." I chose this quote because it is important to remember that any change at all has to start with one person, and I believe the 2019 senior class is full of people who are ready to go out into the world and create change. After all, we have already started to make a difference in high school through events like Fight for Life. Because of that, I would specifically like to dedicate this quote to the class of 2019. Let us move on and make the world a better place.
Be strong and of a good courage, for the Lord thy God is with thee wherever thou goest. I would like to dedicate this quote to my parents for their endless love and support and for teaching me to find strength in the Lord, and to my classmates who I've grown up with for the last 12 years. As we spread out across the country and even the planet, may we never forget to lean on the strength we found where it all began.
Will the graduates please rise? The Eureka High School graduating class of 2019 has met the criteria for graduation of the state of Illinois and the Board of Education of Community Unit School District 140, comprised of Congerville, Eureka, and Goodfield. Congratulations, graduates, for meeting all the requirements for graduation. Let's give all the graduates a round of applause. All graduates may be seated except row 1. Courtney Lowe, the senior class sponsor, will announce the graduates who will be receiving their diplomas from members of the school board. Thank you.
Macy J. Littell. Blaine Michael Ashley Terry. Morgan Marie Green. Aaron Patrick Schwab. Darcy Min Godey. Joshua Declan Irvin. Ambria Lynn Herman. Wyatt Noah Moser. Jordan Nicole Mead. Alex Daniel Heinold. Natalie Ann Meese. Eli David Steinbeck. Katie Raquel Morin. Kyle Lucas Johnson. Kate Olivia Blunier. Luke Douglas Cooperschmid. Catherine Rebecca Underwood. John Robert Reichard. Emma Victoria Argo. Adam Craig Anderson. Row 1, please be seated. Row 2, please rise. McKenna Janelle Courtney. Jonah Tyler Hahn. Madison Joe Shoemaker. Asher Luke Wiegand. Abigail Grace Skelton. Spencer Keith Nason. Morgan Ray Keyser. Braden Reed Beck. Haley Nicole Flowers. Daniel Eugene Frank. Joanna Lamadrid Martinez. Alexander Paul Swanson. Addison May Ulrich. Abram Daniel Meister. Tessa May Wiegand. Austin Paul Davis. Malia K. Cottrell. Trevor Andrew Getz. Darcy Lynn Wetstein. Reggie Randall Plattner. Row 2, please be seated. Row 3, please rise. Faith K. Killian. Parker Dax Crow. Kelsey Rose Cooperschmid. Keegan James Zimmerman. Claire Danelle Hahulin. Roman Lee Bauman. Alexandria Nicole Grober. Connor Monroe Standish. Grace Marie Ulrich. Colton Matthew Zobrist. Hannah Irene Royer. Matthew Reese Galloway. Autumn Joanne White. Dylan Frederick Taylor. Carolyn Ann Picosha. Dustin Lee Kennel. Sydney Aaron Evans. Grant Alexander Carlson. Allison Riley Knoll. Caleb Forrest Woolen. Row 3, please be seated. Row 4, please rise. Haley Marie Vandeveer. Jacob Ryan McKnight. Samantha Jo Nason. Caitlin Elizabeth Sweeney. Caitlin Dale Meyer. Cole Glendon Arvin. Mara Lou Miller. Curtis Allen Heinrichsen. Lauren Elaine Osmus. Caden Lewis Swords. Molly Joan Steffen. Gabriella Catherine Rogers. Riley John O'Rourke. Jamie Nicole Panetta. Brady Todd Kryl. Catherine Elizabeth Karstens. Joshua David Meyer. Madison Ray Knapp. Gavin Eli Ludeman. Row 4, please be seated. Row 5, please rise. Caitlin Elizabeth Houston. Patrick James Donovan. Olivia Carrington Stalter. Tyler James Berry. Alexis Kaylee Barnes. Brandon Scott Shin. Courtney Ruth Ann Heffron. Alexandra Julian Britton. Courtney Lee Sanders. Justin Ray Bushman Jr. Hannah Noel Sorensen. Braxton Reed Martin. Cassidy Nicole Post. Jordan Dean Andrews. Abby Lauren King.
Way to go, King! That's my cousin! Way to go, King!
Lauren Marie Brown. Destiny Faye Clark. Brady Ray Lenover. Faith Ann Crizzle. Benjamin Leon Yost. Row 5, please be seated. Row 6, please rise. Megan Hope Garcia. William Alexander Kintz. Drew Ann Roki. Jason Thomas Schwind. Sarah Renee Smith. Brady J. Davis. Felicity Johanna Barr. Kyle Eugene Walker. Destiny Elizabeth Still. Nicholas Andrew Olson.
Go, Nick!
Row 6, please be seated.
I now have the pleasure of presenting to you the class of 2019. Congratulations, graduates.